Hey, what's going on out there? Working on the Medved indices, futures, bonds. I can't seem to figure out all the symbols yet, so it's been taking me a long time, but I'm trying to consolidate time on this so I don't have to set up each chart in investing.com and just go over to my Medved Trader. And after speaking with Mr. Medved, I guess 7 of you last month signed up, so appreciate that. Keep them coming. If you want to use the Medved Trader, it's $20 a month, and it's a pretty good source. It's the only one. It's the one I learned on. It's the one I use just because it's really easy, and I love the watch list. And I will see if I can get to that today, but I'm gonna need some people's help on the actual symbols that I need to use for the Medved. If anyone out there is using it and can help me. For instance, the dollar index. I tried many different ways, and Medved has a little help center, adding the I believe the dollar sign before the index call letters. But I have to use a delayed chart feed from Yahoo. But still working on it, like I said. Let's get some lines in here. So let's start it off with the dollar. We're going to do a weekly update. Looks like the dollar still has the reverse head and shoulders, and looks like the pattern's going to break on the upside as it has to get over that line. You can see the left, the right, and then the looks like the right shoulder. They took it down as far as they could. You can see the whipsaw, and then the tight consolidation on the way up, and then the pop. Still has to go forward. Let's see how we're doing on the weekly. Yeah, I see the weekly wants to pop over. Looks like last week that's considering a hammer, and now it's confirmed. Hammer bottom. Right over the 34. Anything outside that trading pattern. Take this a step further and just say that line there. So the ball's getting tighter and tighter inside the corkscrew. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, pop. Watch for flat top break for 97, or a touch and a retrace if it gets above previous highs. So dollar looks pretty bullish. Monthly's putting in a nice doji. So far we got 2 more weeks, but that looks pretty promising from here. Maybe consolidate first. Looks like we opened. Let's see if we got any bearishness on the shorter term. Looks like a possible bearish harami close. Not quite. 60-minute. I got a bearish piercing pattern on the 60-minute. So maybe it needs to consolidate back into support. The weekly looks strong though. Let's see how bullish that is for the weekly long-term chart. So there we go. I think I'm bullish for the week. 10-year bond. Oh my god, 10-year bond. Another one I need a symbol help with. Let's see if I can get these lines in. See, this is what I'm talking about. I have to set up each chart. I'm trying to consolidate time so I can get these things whipped out, but kind of hard, especially when I'm wanting it for free. So still tight, 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 tight. Tried to pop. That could be just a tight bearish flag as it breaks into previous lows and gets knocked back. But pretty tight pattern. Whatever it's going to do, it's going to be the corkscrews wound up really tight in these kind of things. Looks bearish. Looks like a flag. Let's see. Back into support on the daily. Back into support on the 5-hour. Looks like we've got an inverted hammer here that needs to be confirmed or denied. Got a 2-bar pattern here that's confirmed. As the close of the last candle, so looks like a bottom turnaround on the 5-hour. So back to the weekly. Looks like this thing might shoot across one more time. See where it ends up. I don't see any particular patterns yet. It could be a left top. Guess there's a left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. Could be a breakdown. See what happens. Huh. Head and shoulder stop. 5-hour chart maybe. Then we got the turnaround right away. Watch that inverted hammer, confirmed or denied. Breakout above is confirmed. Breakout below, denied. And then watch for previous low breaks as it breaks in the previous highs. Not sure yet, but it looks like a kind of, what would you say, an inclined head and shoulders top. But then it broke down and recovered right over the support. So let's see what happens. That could be just a bearish retracement back into the broken pattern. Still above the 34. Closed above the EMA 8 on the 5 hours. So still, it's on a thread like it always is. It's always on a thread. So the S&P broke down and it's just been back and forth. Bearish retracement back, bearish retracement back, bearish retracement back. The knockback, lower highs all the way through. Look for a previous low break at 2120, obviously. But the weekly is still hanging in there. Looks like that's just the midpoint. So look for another leg down. Double top, lower high. Huge hanging man right there, confirmed on the weekly chart. So take the length of this candle and the break and take another leg, which should bring us back into support. Close below EMA 813, so that's another indicator down the downside. Looks like I'm bearish on the S&P for the week. Let's see. We got lower highs. It's coming into it. It has to make a decision here soon. You can see the pattern tightening up, right? Just real tight. Follow the ball. You got opposing points, opposing point, opposing point. Keeps going inside opposing points. It looks bullish on the 5-hour. What is it, 60-minute? 5-hour. Lower highs. Higher lows. Inside anything outside the pattern, I guess. So let's take that line. I'm not sure. Anything outside the pattern looks like a nice U shape. Gonna try to cross the 34, but it's gonna come to the other side of the pattern. So it's gonna be short-lived unless it's powerful and then it can get above the double top here. So let's go back to longer term, see what's going on. I'm bearish on the longer term. The short terms, it looks like it might have a push. It might have some legs to run into resistance and then see if we can get it pushed back or if it has any momentum to get across. There we go. Deutsche Bank. Looks like they got fined again. Something like 14.5 billion. Obviously, does not look good for Deutsche Bank. I don't know how a bank could come up with 14 billion with $72 trillion in derivatives. It's going to print more money. I just don't understand why they just shut it down. But here we are. German Deutsche Bank, biggest bank in the EU, I believe. Very much in trouble. Look at the gap down on the daily, the weekly close. That's all Friday. So definitely bearish, as momentum has not even curbed its appetite. So look for a previous low break, taking out the double low. We had a double bottom working on this, but looks like it's being rejected. And another thing I want to notice and mention is it did not reach its natural point of return. So what do I say? It's double bearish. Double bearish on a monthly chart. That's horrible. Didn't reach its natural point. If this breaks down, it's double bearish to me. Let's see what happens. Just right off the top of my mind there. Looks like bearish retrace or bullish retracement back into zero territory as it popped across. The German bond made it. Don't know if it's going to be able to stay up there, as it didn't reach. It did. It reached its previous low's resistance. So this is a bullish retracement back into support. It hung on to the EMA 8. It might need a lot more consolidation coming back into the 34. I'm not sure yet. But we can take a look and see. That's a bearish. I think this has a much more to go in the consolidation phase, as this might be just a pump and dump. So you can see our support, the 34. Come back into the 34 SMA. See what happens from there, but it's going to be drugged down into negative territory. This is pretty bearish, the bearish piercing pattern. You see it? The open up and then the close down. At least 50% of that previous candle. So we got a huge bearish piercing pattern. Came back into the support, bounced, But that might be just a bearish retracement as it needs to go back and consolidate. Follow the ball. Yeah, I'm bearish on that one, following the ball all the way down at the 34th. See what happens when we get there. Weekly. Oops. See the cross above hit. We got struck by resistance. Previous lows. See what happens. Might need to consolidate a little bit more. So it needs to go back across zero, gather its legs, and come back across. Or that could be the number one time it touches the natural course. Then number two, number three. It could be in negative territory for a while. Got stuck back in previous lows. Got rejected. Let's see what happens. Good job getting above zero, but I don't know if it's going to stay there. Japanese bond. It's been in negative territory for months. Looks like it struck zero and got pushed back. So definite resistance into the positive area of this bond. V bottoms don't work, so we need an opposing point always. So that's not much of an opposing point. We need something to come down and oppose our start a pattern. It would have been nice if this would have get across zero and then created an opposing point, but it never got above zero. So huge resistance at zero. It needs a much better consolidation before it can try to get above there. So it looks like it got rejected off its previous double top. Looks like it might come back into the negative 10 territory. Let's go to crude. Crude's hanging in there. Looks like we got some disruptions in southern states. Some pipelines are broken and supplies are being shut down in multi-states. So could it be a planned scarcity? I'm not sure. They'd like to do that planned scarcity kind of thing. Not enough news on it yet, but I got a reverse head and shoulders on a daily. So it's finishing up its right shoulder. If there is going to be supply shortages, isn't that price go up situation? So the broken pipelines, supply routes, in conjunction with the reverse head and shoulders on a daily. I don't believe in coincidence, so I don't know. What I'm saying is, could the story of the broken pipelines and false scarcity just to get the public used to higher prices when the chart itself is bullish? So, or is it to make it more bullish? A manipulation of the market? I'm not sure, but the weekly chart shows that huge bullish pattern. And it looks like we're below, still hanging, coming off a double top, a double bottom. Got a long trend line coming down. So I look above that price break, a multi-year trend line break. I think we can be above 50, no problem. Especially if the story is true about supply routes hitting like 3 or 4 states, I think. That would encourage prices to go up. So fill up your trucks. Might be a good time to fill up your truck. Could get to 60 in no time. Never know what's going to happen. So just back to that weekly chart close. It looked like it's just the right shoulder's taking its time in this consolidation. We've got support. It's in that little, it's in the price crunch. It's going to have to make a move next couple weeks. Could happen in an instant. Watch a flat top break at 50 though. I would love to trade that flat top break 50. That's a beautiful, nice, over the top, over the 34 flat top break. That, when it makes that move across, I call that the launching pad. So anything above 50, I would watch it. Let's jump to gold. Gold's been having some trouble. Nothing moving, so it stalls. And then if time goes by, it just falls, right? Through time. It's been just stair-stepping. So we had to push down. Closed above the EMA 8 on the weekly chart. I got a lot of topsy-turvy things going on. Lots of opposing points on the way down. And you can see the price pinch as support comes up. So I'm waiting for this thing to break. Thought it was going to break a few times. Right? Nothing yet. Thought August was bad. Waiting along for this thing to come get some legs. It's going to take 2 months. All of August has been doing this. And now we're coming into the 3rd week of September. We should hurry up. So anything outside that pattern, we could be coming back into support. Or just time delay as price moves across, stays in its opposing points. We've got 2 opposing points now. Or it broke down on those opposing points. That could be the bearish retracement back in. Not sure if it's going to happen, but watch that line there on the way down. 13 and under. Odds are we might get a push back into resistance. See what happens. See how we open. Looks like a pretty managed fall, right? The bounce, the bounce, the bounce, the bounce. Looks pretty managed still. You can check the volume too. See if volume is diminishing on this pull down. Looks like we're coming off a higher low. Just need to break out of that pattern. That's all there is to it. Monthly, on the other hand, we're still in good shape, right? We are way above the EMA 8. Maybe that's why we're hesitant. It's because this thing took off so rapidly. We needed the averages to come up and help us in support. Anything below 13, I would watch out. They could pull this thing all the way back into the median line, which I'm all for it, because that's a huge bullish retracement, and I'd love to catch that flat top break on the way back. Let's go to silver. Let's go shorter term. See what's going on. Looks like we broke down, made the measured move, and then we started on the way back up, and then we hit a new low. We're really pulling this thing back. Doesn't look good. It broke down again. And this is the bearish retracement. That's the 5-hour daily. Daily, on the other hand, we got a higher low. Looking for reversal bars. Weekly, we closed below the EMA 8. Let's make sure that EMA 8 doesn't cross the EMA 13. Could get some long-term drag downs. Still holding 1850. Anything below 1850, you better watch out. It's going to test 1850, it looks like. We closed below the EMA 8 on a silver, so maybe think about pulling your money out and buying physical on the way down. I don't know. Copper. Copper got a push. Nice. It's a daily. Let's see if we can get this thing moving. This Turd Ferguson keeps saying that we can't move up unless we get copper moving with us. It's a nice flat top break right over that 34. Let's see if we can maintain this momentum. You can see price on a long-term chart is in a pattern and higher lows, making opposing points all the way through. That looks like a nice bullish pattern forming on a weekly chart. I don't know when it's going to break. It's got lots of work to do still. It looks like a month, month and a half, 2 months maybe, of bouncing back and forth as these two lines get narrower and narrower. Or it could just all out of the... We got the FOMC meeting this week for interest rate hikes. The market supposedly has marked in the rate hike from the S&P. At least that's what the pundits are telling us. If they raise interest rates, definitely everything's going to come tumbling down. Good for gold and silver, I believe. Not equities or bonds. But nor the Federal Reserve. I mean, they got $4 trillion in assets that are worthless. You think they want to raise interest rates? They can't even afford what they have. That looks bullish off the bottom. Little, what is that, ascending triangle? 3-bar pattern off the bottom. Actually, more than a 3-bar pattern, but look for a break above on copper 2117. That's all I got today. Let me just show real quick what I'm looking for if anyone wants to help. So anyways, I need help finding some quotes. For instance, I can get silver, but it only shows me as far back as 2 years, year and a half. I need longer term charts. My CLF Crude is not showing up very well. I've got Crude down here as well, but it's only going back a half a year. And my charts aren't looking the same as the investor.com. It's pissing me off. And I got the S&P, we can do that. I got the Dow Jones, we can do that. And I think I got the NASDAQ in here somewhere. The dollar, I need the dollar. And there's the NASDAQ. I got the Huey and the Philadelphia gold silver ratio. Do that. Like I said, this is coming off of Yahoo's feed, Yahoo Finance, so you need to find the symbols there. I need their symbols, and then I use Medved's system. So, so my feed's coming off of Yahoo Finance. Okay, so I have to do those symbols. And then if I want to use Ameritrade, I'm not sure if it's going to work. I guess it works the same. Yeah, it looks like the same. But anyways, if you can help, if you see anything I'm missing, I'm not that smart when it comes to these, because every broker has their different feeds, different call letters. I don't know, I understand why they're making competitive call letters. It's stupid. I remember when we had to use, we had to trade fractions. Oh man, what a pain in the ass that was. And then they changed it to decimals. Why can't they change the symbol list to everything the same? I don't know. Like if I want to look at the silver futures contract, why doesn't it give me more? I just need more. I can't trade this unless I know what's going on in the past. Maybe that's why they don't show it to you. I'm not sure. If anyone can help, please. Uh, let's. While I was pulling over here, I was thinking I needed to look at GDX and GDXJ. So let's look at that. Let's look at Deutsche Bank on this chart. Anyway, you can see the fall off on the 60-minute. Looks bearish. Huge. Got a nice U. Got a nice U coming in. Maybe a pop back into resistance. But it definitely broke down the point of no return. Had my alarm set on that one. There's the weekly. Looks like the 5 days got a little double bottom working. Just a tiny bit. But got rejected in the previous lows. So now BTG, I was looking at this, pulling up volume stats for the week or Friday close. Is this correct? This stock had 94 million, just a under $3 stock, and it had a huge amounts of volume. So pay attention to BTG, as it looks like the 5-hour chart's going to break out. Look, breaking in the previous lows. The OBV off the chart, volume off the chart. Definitely look at anything above 3, as that huge hammer is going to be taken out. Follow the money. Might be a good play for anybody out there watching. Let's look at GDX. That's a huge amount of volume on that stock. $3 stock. We got 78 million on this one. GDX. Come on. There we go. Looks like it's consolidating. We're below our support line on the monthly, so it needs to pop above that for the next 2 weeks. 60 minutes, put in a new low. Just coming into a pattern. Falling wedge, descending. Got a reverse head and shoulders here, but that's not good anymore. As it's making a new pattern now. I'm not sure on this. It's got to break outside this pattern. It's like a slow consolidation. Let's look at AG. AG's coming apart. Not ready yet. It's holding the low. It's like OBV cross. Same thing. It's got that. I wish I had a button to clear all this out. It's got this. We had the reverse head and shoulders. We're looking at that all week, right? And then now it has this. They're just pulling this thing apart, dragging it down. It's like a lot of people sold OBVs off the map. I don't know. Looks like price is being pushed down into this little corner, and it's going to have to pop one way or the other. It looks bullish to me. That's a bullish pattern. Falling wedge, right? You heard that before. But anything outside that pattern. Oh, let's go back then and see if we have a common occurrence going on here. I don't see it on HL. HL's doing all right. CDE. Looks like we got a reverse head and shoulders failure. So all these lines. The quote checker used to have a button that would clear all lines out. Let's clear them out. Everything failed on this one. Looks like it's making another bottom. But it broke that bottom. See what happens. Could be a good week. We've been dragging out. IAG, same thing. Sideways consolidation on the 5-hour. Nugget. Can't trust the 5-hour on that one. Lines are all skewed. 60-minute nugget. Same thing. Just keep going. Let's find that common occurrence. Last week's 5-hour chart did not turn out the way it was supposed to be. It was another reverse head and shoulders. These things are being drug out, consolidating, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Could be a wind-up for the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Could be a wind-up, especially if they raise interest rates. It's got to be good for gold. Well, maybe it won't be, but who knows? Who knows what the scheme is? It's like HMY took a breakdown. That doesn't look good. Weekly breakdown below the 34 SMA. Hmm. HMY, Harmony Gold. I'll take all these out. I was just playing around. Which one is that? 13. All I want is the 8 and the 3. Looks like HMY's got a ways to go to get into support. Doesn't look good on the weekly. Let's see what happens. GDXJ, probably cut it off right here. Same occurrence of just pulling that right shoulder as far as it can. Right? I'm just going to hold it here because this looks like the common occurrence right now. The previous, that right shoulder is just being pulled into another pattern. Could be a wind up. That'd be awesome, right? Not sure. That reverse head and shoulders, what I'm not sure about is if that's a breakdown, because it didn't really break down as it is consolidating. Let's see if we can pull it, get some more, see that volume better. I'm looking for diminishing volume. I don't see that. Looks like the last hour of the day, couple hours of the day, looks like we got a pop in volume. Because it was on support. It reversed support. People start jumping in. There's a 3-bar pattern on the 60-minute. It's got to break in the previous lows. Just not sure. Let's look at JNUG. Oh my god. JNUG. I'm looking for a double bottom, higher low. Maybe a break above 2140 for JNUG. Combine the support as it goes above this line. Gets above previous highs. Oh, a lot of uncertainty until Wednesday, I guess. Looks like a wind up on this end on the miners. So some of these are falling apart. Weekly's still up there, but you know, some of these are falling apart. Looks like they're just consolidation on that right shoulder as far as they can take it. There's Endeavor Silver. Newmont Mines. Looks like a double bottom coming in on Newmont Mines. 5-hour chart. Same kind of theme. That right shoulder, they're just putting it in a wedge. I like to think of it as a double wind-up pattern break. I don't know. EGO, look at that. Finally breaking out of its doldrums. Previous high break there. Maybe look at something coming back into support and grabbing some, no, it already did that. It broke out, came into support, look for previous high breaks. The flat top break. Coming off a bottom on the monthly. Huge break at 5. Yeah, double top at 5. Maybe wait for a previous high break, which is just 440. Weekly chart looks good. The 3-bar pattern breaking previous highs. Looks like a bottom right across the 34. Bullish Pearson pattern right there. See if it can continue. Needs to break into previous lows. Got resistance at 4. Get above 4, you'll get to 5. EGO might be a nice play. Hasn't woken up. It's been consolidating and drug out through the mud for a long time. AGI, you can see the reverse head and shoulders back in and then back in again. They're just pulling these things back hard. As far back as they can, it seems like. GFI, same thing. Look at that reverse head and shoulders where we spoke last week, and it's just putting it in that range. Just pulling it back. No evidence of diminishing volume though. I mean, there's lower volume, but I wanted to see it kind of diminishing. Kind of like that. Not sure what to make of it yet. NGD, just keep her moving. See if we can get through this here pretty shortly. SLV. Oh, what was that on NGD? A volume bounce on the 60-minute last hour of the day. All in all, these are all just bullish retracements on the monthly chart, so gotta keep a perspective on the long term always. But when's it gonna end? Oh, the torture. Same thing. We're just waiting. I guess we're waiting for the politics to end. CLF. This one's iron ore. Some good activity on this thing. You know, kind of the same thing. I wish I could just clear my charts. Higher lows on CLF on the 5-hour chart. Let's see what happens. It needs to break into previous lows. SL double, yeah. Silver Wheaton. This is another one of those big ones that the institutions have been buying. So same kind of play. That right shoulder is just being drug out, consolidating. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder consolidation. Should have came up there. That's why I'm wondering if that's a failure. But the failure is no failure. This is consolidation. Consolidation pattern after consolidation pattern. It's hard to gauge what's going to happen, especially when you haven't seen something like that before. NG, same thing. Looks like we got the same thing from last week, just another week of consolidation on that 5-hour chart. Dragging it down as hard as it can. Goro looks promising. See if it can keep up the good work. 650 is the flat top break. You can see the pattern now. Get the support, SMA 34. It's going in that pattern. It's like a 660 break coming in. You can see that monthly chart. The run, consolidation, and then the run back, the 1-2 punch. See if it can break. Goro looks good. I'd watch that one, put on that watch list. Goro. Could be churning before the rest of them. GSS. Same thing, reverse head and shoulders on the 5-hour. It's been consolidating ever since. USLV coming to an end. Oh man. We got 2 weeks for these monthly charts to get above my EMA 3 on a monthly chart, which is my support. Uranium. One thing to watch is uranium. That one got taken down in a snap. Failed pattern. But if you haven't heard, there was an emergency UN meeting on Saturday, apparently, and probably without a doubt. American-funded ISIS was supported by airstrikes killing Syrian soldiers. And then the Russians came into the meeting, and I guess the ambassador to Russia, or somebody, some kind of ambassador to somebody, wasn't interested in Russia's complaints. They were just worried about talking to the media. So it looks like a cover-up. But the Russians, you keep poking the bear, man. We're the aggressors. We're definitely causing trouble throughout the whole world, which is kind of embarrassing to be American nowadays. It's not how we're supposed to be. TGD looks like a nice bounce off of support. Needs to get a little bit more legs. Looks pretty healthy across the 34 on the 5-hour, but there could be just pain in the tape there. FFNG. I don't have enough data coming in on this yet. What if I change my data? Let's see what happens. See if I can just do this to Yahoo. See if I can get it better. There we go. Maybe I should just use Yahoo and forget Ameritrade. Looks like everything else is holding up. There's another uranium. Anyways, follow uranium because it might be a good war play. Whenever war heats up, uranium heats up with it. There's obviously defense contractor stocks too, but let's not go out that far. GPL, FFMG. Yeah, I'm going to keep my data feed as Yahoo. You see that, guys? Yahoo Finance. You can get it for free. You don't even have to sign up. The only thing is it's not real time. Okay, so you can use Medved Trader free by using Yahoo Finance as your data source. But you have to pay Medved. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I'd like this FFMGF. It's I've already made money off of it through this flat top break here. And then I'm letting it consolidate back into support. Probably take this flat top break, if not the ultimate flat top break, so anything above 100. There we go. There's a lithium stock. Lithium is supposed to be hot and heavy right now. Look at that. Oh, watch this one, flat top break. This is off of Yahoo Finance quotes. Look at that. Didn't reach its natural course of return on its pullback. Watch a flat top break. Oh, nice. Nice volume too on Friday, last hour. What is going on here? Flat top break on the 5-hour. Wow. Lithium. Some of these. Colombian gold. Some of these I haven't seen quotes on for a while. Ameritrade's data source. Gold Standard Ventures. I don't know yet. ESLV. Let's keep going. Brazil. Could be a 1-2 punch coming in on Brazil Resources. Brazil Resources is supposed to be under great management, so might be something to watch on Brazil Resources. BGZ, not quite done consolidating yet. A nice U, nice hammer on the monthly or weekly. See that consolidation over the 34. Took it way back on the monthly chart. Let's keep going. Sorry, I'm just going after volume. NAK, did we get anything we wanted out of this? Nope. Nope. Still working it. Looks like 5-hour chart's having a little trouble. Look for any kind of pop action above 80 as it gets above into momentum territory. Right now it's slacking. Looks like it wants to consolidate more on NAK. Churned on a dime. Looks like it's a hold and wait since the beginning of August. Let's look at this lithium. Uranium. still holding mine. I should be knocked out, but I'm just hanging on because I'm just so uncertain about the market. And with low volume on Friday, it came down, so I wasn't too worried about it. It's been hanging on the weekly chart all week on the EMA 8, and it did close there. So the reason why I should have sold is because I bought it, and it should have kept going like I planned, but it didn't do that. So I should have sold because it didn't do what it was supposed to do. But because I'm lame and I got a lot of stuff going on, I just decided to pay attention to that monthly chart and realize that's going to be a nice flat top break. So I just need to hang on. So basically, I'm waiting for the rest of the market to go up. I think that's it. I want to kind of excited because I got this Yahoo feed, and I don't need Ameritrade to get long-term charts. It's just badass. Alright, that's it. That's all I got. But someone gave me a donation last week, and I really appreciate that. A nice cup of coffee. And if anyone can donate, that'd be awesome. Winter's coming. This morning at my house was absolutely freezing. I had to put on 2 more blankets just to bring up the temperature of my toes. So winter's coming. My business is going to die off. Going to go into hibernation. So hopefully I can get all these charts fixed, and we can start doing some long-term charts for indices, bonds, and the like on the Medved Trader, so we can just keep to one source instead of jumping back and forth. Besides, it takes me forever to get on these charts. Let's see how we opened. I think we should be open by now. It's taking me forever to do this video. Where's gold? Where's gold? Did we open? Opened up. Looks like we opened up. Just look at silver. Silver opened up too. So promising looks. Copper did not. So that's it. Appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what's going on out there. I'll see you.